Does that mean now? Yes, we are recording. Okay. So, let's turn you, what, wrong way, boys. This way. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Right, okay, well. Welcome to Phil's Workshop. Once again, we are doing our best to... oh dear, where are we gone now? Come on, there we go. Right, okay, so are we recording? Yes, we are recording. And we've got a voice going over there, so hopefully this is all working. It's been a while, it's been a while. So what we're up to? Right, well, what we're up to is, some time ago, if you can remember, I was on about getting a spare battery for my hoist, and I couldn't get one, so excuse this for a moment while I get you in to some sort of shape. Just bear with me, folks. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Right. See if I can get you down a little bit more, but I very much doubt it. I think what I might have to do... yeah, hang on. I know what I might have to do is... and put a tweak on here when I get the right one. That's it. Bear with me, folks. Right. Well, it's nice to be back. It is. It's nice to be back. Now then, what I'm in the process of doing now is I'm in the process of making a battery box. Now, I couldn't get another battery for my hoist, and this is the hoist. This might be a two-parter or a three-parter, I don't know, but that's the hoist which I've got in the back of my car. The battery goes up here, as you can see, hopefully, and unfortunately the company that I bought this from and other companies that sell them, I couldn't get an answer as to whether or not I can get a secondary battery. And I was faffing around for many a week. And I thought to myself, what the devil am I messing around with? I've been playing around with auto electrics for a number of years, and here I am faffing around trying to chase after a battery when I can't get one. I thought to myself, well, why not make one? So what we've got is we've got a 21 volt battery, which of course the system works off 21 volt. I've already done bits and bobs of work on this because trying to get myself motivated back in the game again and try and get a video out for you beautiful fantastic people, because you have been a terrific help, as well you know, that without you gentlemen I would have been in somewhat of what you call a bit of a mess. But we're back on again, and we're back up and running. So with this 21 volt battery, all I've done is double-sided it in. Now with this one, it has a charging point here, which is going to connect up to my socket that I've got in the car via a USB cable, which is which should do what I want it to do. I've tried it in the house off a 240 volt mains plug, and it does. It charges up, and it's now fully charged. But of course, what what one thing says and what one thing does are two different things altogether, as well you know. So what have I got to do now? Right, okay, what I'm going to do now, and excuse me for not being in, but you can hear my voice any road up, is I've got one of those to fit. And I'll tell you about this in a moment. And I've got that to fit. And that there is the charge cable. Now, that's right, that to there, that to there, that down to there, to there. Right, yeah. It's okay, I've just got to make sure that I've got everything in order. It's a little bit awkward. I do apologise for the disorganisation, but unfortunately it is what it is at the moment, folks. And with these, I didn't know, so I've just seen it in there. I've got a cap, which is very nice, a little cap, and that is the nut for it. Now, the reason why, just put that up to one side for a minute, I might not be able to do that this time round. The reason why I'm using this type of socket, what have I done now? You see, this is what happens, you see, when I don't when I don't keep up with what I'm doing. Right, that bit there, as you can see, is a USB A, that's it, connection, but that's also a charger as well. So that goes into the cigarette lighter, and then this bit, right, goes into what they call a barrel socket, and that is what that is. That's a barrel socket. That there has got to go in here at a certain point. Now, I might have to modify this. I don't know yet until I get this part of it built. And what I want to do now is I want to place that there so I can get at things. Right. Okay, so right, double-sided tape. Oh. A little bit crowded, folks. I've not tidied the workshop off, and it is somewhat of a mess, to say the least. It's with trying to do other things, and I don't want to get distracted again. So right, so okay, we've now got that on there. This is just to hold it down and stop it from floating around, and we're going to place that around about there, like so. Now, next thing we've got is this now that I'm dealing with now is the connection, which is going to be for the charge cable. Now, there's another reason why I'm putting this type of socket on the outside as well, is if for some unknown reason I forget to couple it up in the car, I can still use the same cable and couple it up in the house, and all I have to do is plug up in here. This fitting here, which I'm going to deal with now, this is going to be the main output feed for the actual motor on the hoist. Now that's going to have to be a separate video on its own, because that might be a little bit on the complicated side, because I've got to open it all up and see what's going on inside. Now what I'm using here, for those of you that don't know, some of you might, I don't know, some of you might not, these come under two names, right, dependent on how you've been brought up with them. These are what you call, actually, the proper terminology is ferrule, and of course these are the crimpers for them. And what we do is we crimp the cable in there. Now the reason why I do this is, apart from years of training of what I used to do when I used to design stuff like this for ambulances, police cars and fire engines, is because when you're putting a screw in to a joint and you just put in the wire in, unless you've got one of these on, ferrule or bootlace, some call them a bootlace, then as you tighten the screw down, with the turning of the screw onto the wire, eventually what could happen is that screw, because they're not of a they've not got a ball face on them, they will actually cut through the cable. So rather than that, what we do is we put these in. So these are going to go into the main part now. And yeah, what I'm going to try and do now, I've made a boo-boo, haven't I? Oh dear, 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 dear. Where am I ever going to damn well learn? Oh, what I should have done is join them with it. Hang on. I'm alright, I've got plenty of cable for this, so. This is why I don't edit, you see, because I can make a mistake just the same as anybody else. I may be an experienced guy in what I did before, but I can still make mistakes, and I don't mind admitting it. Right, okay, so let's get this sorted out. We'll pull this little plug out of there, and we're now going to attach these to them wires there. Because it's a main output from the battery to the hoist. It's also going to be a main output to this reader. Now this reader will read to me the battery voltage and the actual percentage that the battery is charged. So that gives me both of them. So I need to get this actually on the battery itself. So again, sort out a couple of ferrules. There's one. So they're also ideal, these are for normal electrics as well actually. They work very well with them. So okay, so positive to positive, and negative to a negative. And of course there's no power on yet until I've got them coupled up. So first thing I do is couple up the positive, and then in with the negative. I hope you lot can see what I'm actually doing here. I've moved it over a little bit. So that's that cable. Now this cable now is live, so if I now couple up this like so, and there we have, hopefully you can actually see that, I hope, is the actual voltage is 20.5 and the percentage is 100%. So I can actually turn that off or turn it on. There you go, there's the 100% and there's the voltage plus the actual percentage. So we'll turn that off so we're not wasting battery. So that's ready to rock and roll shortly. I've got to deal with that. We've now got power to this bit here, so that's the output power. The next thing we've got to look at, and I'll just put them to one side, because knowing me, I'm liable to knock these off and have them all over the shed, which is not a very bright idea. And I hope this I hope this microphone's working. It says it is, it says it's coming out to you, so I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I might have to I don't know. Right, now then, in actual fact what it's going to do, it's going to sit like this eventually, but now what I've got to think about now is the point of the point that this bit is going to go to and where that other bit is going to go to. And then the other thing I've got to do, because there's nothing actually keeping this closed, what I'm going to do is to put on this block in here, and then I'm going to drill this and put an internal thread into that block of wood, so that I can now just put a screw in there and hold the two together. That's all that's for as it stands. So the next thing is now, and I should have done this beforehand, but I haven't. That just goes to show how topsy-turvy is the word, topsy-turvy is how things go here. Now what I need to do now is to find out the diameter of that, and of course we have to bring out the calipers, and these are digital calipers. Now I don't know if you people have ever used this. You might use them, you might not. I mean, if you've been in a trade, a motor trade or a mechanic's trade, then you will know all about these. Now the one thing that I will say about these is, if you're not using them for a while, take out the battery, because if you don't take the battery out, it will eventually leak and it'll ruin it. I know, because I did it not once, I did it twice. Believe it or not, twice. What a clown, but there you go. Right, okay, so we're all zeroed up. So what we'll do now, we go across the threads and see what it says. It says 11.5. Yeah, 11.5 mil, the hole. Okay, so now we finish with this. We know what size we want, so we turn that off, take that off, pop that out, pop that back in there, and I don't think, I'm almost certain that I haven't got my batteries out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ah, I have. There we go. Now, with plastic, and it is very thin plastic, and again, I've played with these sort of things quite a bit. If you don't put something behind it, what will happen is it will break. Now, with that going there, that should be about right there. Or should I have it in a different place? You see, that's going to go. That's going to go there. Yeah, that can go there. We can get away with that. We can get away with that. So I'm going to put that piece of wood in there, and then I'm going to have it on a slow speed, and then very, very, very gently, somewhere in towards the middle, so very, very steady, that started it. Now we can up it a little bit now. A little bit of pressure. And there we have it. Now, let me just blow that out. Now, that hole, right, if I show it you, is not, see, I don't know if you can see that or not. No, probably not, I don't know. It's not very neat. So, what I have here is one of those, and what these are normally used for, I used to use this for trimming up my bits of metal and sometimes bits of wood that I was using to make me specialist boards. And what it does is it cleans up the hole that you've drilled as well. Now, will that go in there? No. I want a little bit more. What would you believe? No, that's it. Just a tad more. And then I'll just go down that with a bit of a file, because that wants a new blade on really, but that's okay. So these little bits and bobs come in handy at times. Right, so put that on. Put that on there. Pull that over it, like so.